Taking on risks is an important part of self-development to everybody. The biggest problem with risks is that we don't actually know whether they're worth it or not until after we take them. However, that is also why they are so important to our growth and our development as a person. Because of the uncertainty and the potential high risk, low reward that they give, they actually create quite a few things for us, and it can stem from small to life-changing things. They can create opportunities. These might be opportunities to find certain somebody, find new friends. Maybe that risk you aren't willing to take is the one that will allow you to find something that you're very passionate about and something that will actually help you excel, regardless of where. Maybe in your self-development, maybe in your career, maybe on your social media, maybe in the sport you're playing. Doesn't matter. It might just help you excel. It might just be that push that you need. And the opportunities don't just stop there. It's not just about self-development in that way, because there are many aspects that risks will actually help you with in your life. I want you to view risk as growth. Obviously, that's not always the case, because if somebody tries to sell you the dream and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and you should probably not listen to anything like that. However, if I told you, take the risk of starting up a combat sport, take the risk of starting the new hobby you've been thinking about, take the risk of going on a date with that person they'd be wanting to, those types of risks are opportunities to grow. And in growing many different aspects of your life, they might enable you to grow financially, they might enable you to grow in the relationships you have in your life, they might help you to grow in your current work situation, in your current hobby situation. It doesn't really matter. The thing that matters is that it will allow you those things, it will allow you to grow. And that is what we need, and ultimately what we should want. Unfortunately, all of that comes with risk. I suppose, as they say, no risk, no reward. And we need to get used to that. We need to get used to the fact that we might take a risk and still get no reward. However, on a surface level. Because if you took a risk and you decided to study something or practice for something, your time hasn't actually been entirely wasted, because there are still going to be things you've learnt and you've developed over the course of trying and practicing. It doesn't matter that you lost or didn't win a competition or win some sort of trophy. Ultimately, is it nice? Yes, obviously. However, the process is actually the thing that's important. And it's important to remember that process is the most important part of it all. Because risk does enable growth. It enables us to grow as people. If we can sit there and make decisions that could potentially throw something off, damage something, make us lose money, any of that, but we take that decision and it works out, that's growth. That's growth in a positive and good direction. Even if it lands on the other side of the spectrum and it completely fails, messes up, we do lose money, yeah, does it matter? Yes. However, does it matter if we can bounce back from it? Will it matter if we have a plan to say, look, this has failed, that's fine, I have gained this along the way, next time I'll do this. Have we truly actually failed? No, we haven't. We took a risk, it backfired in a sense, however, we have learned what not to do for next time. And ultimately, we did actually grow, as long as you look at it that way. You always have to weigh out the risk that you're taking, obviously, because it's going to come with negative things. Everything has a pro and a con. If the cons outweigh the pros, you probably shouldn't really take that risk. However, a lot of times, it's probably pretty easy to spot from the start. You're probably going to know that this thing that you're going for, this risk, is just going to cause more trouble than it's worth. And in that case, if you're already thinking about that, just leave it. Don't bother, move on to the next thing, because there are going to be other risks or things that allow you to grow that will pop up throughout your life. And I want you to focus on them. I want you to focus on the risks that allow you to grow. As mentioned before, it doesn't matter how, what, or where, in what aspect. The only thing that matters is that helps you to grow. Because you never know. The risk that you're currently avoiding might just be the one that will change your life. As we previously mentioned, Risks will teach you to view failure differently, because as long as you approach things in a smart manner, in a calculated way, then you did what you could to prepare before you took the risk, before you took that leap of faith. And if things don't work out, you did what you could. If you went out on a whim and you just went, yep, whatever, I'm just going to go for it, without looking into anything, without planning, and without thinking, and then something negative happens to you or there's backlash, that's on you. That is your fault. We have to just sit there and accept that. However, if you did what you could, you did your due diligence, and then it fails, is it still your fault? Yes, but it's your fault in a positive way, because you did your bit. You did what you had to, and you thought this will benefit you, but it didn't, which is fine. We're going to bounce back from it. We're going to try again. We're going to do something different. We're going to take different steps, and next time we will know what not to do. And that is good, because risks that fail, that allow you to do that and see things that way, are not a negative thing. They're a positive thing. It might not seem like it on the surface, underneath all the different layers, when we pick it apart, it is a positive thing. Everything that we do, and ultimately failing, is a push in the right direction for next time. Because we don't know whether the thing that we're failing will actually propel us in the right direction in the same thing, just taken differently or done differently, or will make us think, actually, this isn't for me, I want to do something different, and completely scrap it, and then we actually end up finding something very important or very impactful in our life because of our initial failure. Even if we are going in the wrong direction, but we're still moving forward, we're still learning, we're still expanding, we're still seeing things, and we're still molding our perception of what we actually want. And eventually, after going in the wrong direction for so long, we're going to think, I should probably make a turn. And that turn could be thought as of a decision. When we make that decision, we will go. And we might still go in the wrong direction, but it doesn't matter. The fact that we made that decision to change course and do something different is once again growth. And it's once again a step in the right direction of what you want. Taking risks and chances actually gives us a very good opportunity to get creative. If we take a risk and something doesn't work, we have to get creative and figure out a way on how to fix it. What do I need to do in order for this to work? If it does work, excellent. Now I need to get creative with the results that I have and make it into something bigger, more important, better. And regardless of what it is, whether the outcome is quote unquote good or bad, because there actually isn't a good or a bad one, there's always something that moves you forward. What do we do with that next? And it gets us thinking, it gets the ball rolling, and it forces us to come up with more ideas. And in turn, when we create more ideas, we're going to create more risks. However, because we are moving in the right direction now, those risks are going to be less risk, more reward, because we are learning slowly through the process of failure, through this repetition of trying and failing, we will get to where we want to get to. However, none of that will happen without a little sprinkle of creativity in there. So these risks will actually make us more creative. Everything that we spoke about will allow you to shift your mindset and how you approach problems, how you approach risks, how you approach things you might be afraid of, approach things you enjoy. And I would say that a shift in mindset is actually the most important thing we mentioned today. And the reason being is that you can think of whatever you want to think of. You can think of ideas, you can think of things to do, you can think of how you're going to do them, you can tell others what you're thinking, but you're not going to do anything until your mindset shifts, your mindset changes, and you decide, right, I am actually going to do this. I don't need to tell anyone. I don't need to think about it. Well, you still need to plan it, but you know what I mean, procrastinate. And then you're just going to go and do it. And that mindset will automatically make you approach things in a different way than what you used to. However, the shift in your mindset won't be possible until you expose yourself to risk and you expose yourself to change, because we become what we do, not what we say or think. And when we are exposed to change and we're exposed to challenge, we're exposed to risk, we have to change. We need to adapt, because if we don't, they'll overwhelm us and then we won't know what to do. The whole process will not be easy. It will actually be very far from it. But that's self-development in a nutshell. It's making difficult decisions and doing difficult things on a regular basis until they are no longer difficult. Those things just become the norm. They become what you do. And all of that will equate to a shift in mindset. Thank you for tuning in again and watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned something new. And if there's something you don't agree with, please leave a comment below and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. I would really appreciate it if you like the video. Subscribe. I think you might be interested in last week's video where we spoke about who we are and who do we want to be. So that will pop up just right here. So when you're ready, go ahead and watch it, and I will see you next week.